This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple. Products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
Saturday, Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans.
They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
Of those three, who's the heir apparent to Peter Vermees? Those three, and we get 3 more years of Vermees.
Benny.
Not Ilya?
No. Ilya's too nice.
Yep, he'd be a good assistant coach.
I can't see Ilya going, damn it, you need to move the ball faster. No, move, I can't see him doing that.
Was that your Spanish accent?
Oh, I was thinking it was German. It's like, for me, it's German? What?
Give me beer, whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Thad, less than 1 week to go. 2 games. We're finally here. Don't cover your eyes at me. Are you getting tingly yet? Tell me how you're feeling. 2 games left. 2 games left, Thad.
Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm not going to tell you I'm tingly, man.
I thought I was going to get him all excited to start this podcast, and then I just took it all. I sucked all of his energy and confidence away when I started talking about tingly.
Hey, and on the first take, I did a whole woo for you.
He did. He was fists in the air. He was excited at one point. I know he's not bringing the energy yet, but I'll start talking about something. I'll make him mad enough, and he will bring the energy at some point.
Well,
So-
that is at least revealing some of the sausage, though, as this is our second try at a start.
Yes, that's rare though. Don't I normally do it on once? I feel like I'm pretty good about it.
No, I think you mostly do it at once.
Not that our intros are ever good, but I do it on one try. So,
I think your intros are lovely, Cody.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, that's what podcasters are supposed to do. They're supposed to support their fellow podcasters.
I'm trying to build you up, even if I won't tell you you're tingly.
Yes, laugh at my jokes. If somebody has a bad take, someone just bite the bullet and back them up. That's that's fellow podcasters. Let's go. Okay, so guys, 3-way tie. I did not know this until I looked immediately before beginning this podcast. But Colorado are also level on 58 points with Sporting KC and Seattle. They are quite a bit farther down due to goal differential. So yeah, Sporting Kansas City currently edging out Seattle. Thankfully, oh wait, Seattle are playing tonight, aren't they? But
yes, they are. Forza Galaxy.
And man, the LA teams. Thank you very much. We're rooting hard for the other LA team tonight, because LAFC, man, just the homies really handed us a big win there. I'm going to call it a win. It was as good as 3 points for Sporting KC for LAFC beating Seattle on, I believe that was Tuesday night last week.
Hey, but Cody, don't forget, Colorado only has 1 game left.
Yes,
We have
Colorado does have a game in hand, and they are, like I said, farther down due to goal differential. So not really too worried about them as far as the title contenders at the moment.
Exactly.
And honestly, maybe that's my fault because the whole season I don't think I've ever taken Colorado seriously.
I am so with you on that.
Yeah, nobody thought they would be in the top 3. I mean, nobody thought they'd be in the top 5, much less the top 3.
Hey, they haven't finished there yet.
All season long, I just kept thinking they were going to fade away, and here they remain, level on points.
Okay.
Yes, but we do want to make sure we finish at least second because, you know, the farther you drop down the division standings, the farther you drop down hosting MLS Cup. So if we win the West, we're right behind New England. If they drop out, we host MLS Cup. So
I feel very good about it in spite of the most recent loss. We have ATX on Wednesday, and we will talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But I am feeling very good at the moment. Seattle don't scare me anymore. They used to scare me at one point.
But they're getting all their players back now, man.
I know,
Jordan
but
Morris is rested. He hasn't played for like months.
Yes, that I did. I saw that. I was reading that today.
But he hasn't played for months. So
Jordan Morris is back. Yes, but that is the same situation with I don't know if you call Jordan Morris their star. I guess he's not. Maybe at one point he was, but
yeah,
he's one of.
Sporting KC will be getting their star player back, and that will be the same situation. Hasn't been on the field in game time for far too long.
So you guys are confident Pulido's actually going to come back. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just, you know, my mind is just tormented from last year. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, we can briefly touch on that right now. I want to talk about the Minnesota game, but on that one, we touched on it briefly on this podcast a couple weeks ago about how Peter said openly on the Grant Wall podcast that the goal is to get everyone healthy for the playoffs. And this was before they announced a surgery or anything like that for Pulido, I believe. So yeah, I mean, I'm still seeing that as the goal. I would almost assume that they lined up this surgery with playoff times to maybe get him, a week or two of at least training to get ready for the playoffs. So I'm hoping there's a plan. You generally give Peter Vermees the benefit of the doubt on situations like this, don't you?
So did you watch the Halloween video when they went to the Beast? Pulido was there. He went through the Beast. He's got to be okay to play soon.
I know. Is that I hate myself for thinking that exact same thing. Like, yeah. I saw that and it's like, well, he's walking through a haunted house. Something could have scared him and jerked a knee. Like, come on, what's going on?
Yeah.
He's healthy enough for that. No,
wait. Wasn't somebody a few weeks ago saying that because he went through a pitch at the Royals game that his knee was fine, and then like 2 weeks later he's in surgery?
Yes, exactly. That's the big point. That's my point with saying I hate myself for having that take, and we probably should not have that take. The guy's just walking with his girlfriend to a freaking haunted house. But still,
he's probably got security guards around him too. I mean,
that's true.
I don't know. I'm just saying I've been scared shitless at one of those things, and you jerk and jump and things move and you're not ready for it. Like I could very well twist a surgically repaired knee at a haunted house.
He's not as scared as you, Cody.
No, he looks pretty confident coming through there. And speaking of that video, I'm not gonna lie, there were some dudes in there that I did not know.
I haven't watched it.
It was focused on some youth players, and Barber was in there. You know, I knew most, or I felt like I had a good knowledge of most of these young guys, but there were definitely a couple there. One of the stars of the video, I'm still not even sure who it was. The guy with like long hair, he kind of looks like a skateboarder. For half the video, I was like, is this just like somebody's friend? Who is this in this video? He did not look like one of these guys. But no, that was a good video. I meant to talk about that on here.
I know I'm not supposed to watch things while we're potting, but I'm going to try to pull it up so I can look at it at least.
We'll get a live reaction here from Thad on this just absolutely irrelevant, meaningless Halloween video.
Or is it?
And, like, Robert, I don't know how what we were talking about, but I know that you just derailed everything by bringing it. I don't think it was relevant in any. Oh yes, that's right. We're talking about
Pulido. Come on, man.
I said I wanted to be brief on Pulido, and you brought up another tangent on him, so thank you for that.
Where'd they post it at, man?
I am not sure where I saw that one. I'm assuming it was on YouTube. No, about 5 different people were the ones that were going to be the most scared of anyone going through there.
I saw the very beginning of it, but I had other stuff to do, so I kind of ignored it and never went back to look. So,
All right, so going back to the Minnesota game, is that all right, Cody?
Finally.
How many of you were like, okay, it's early in the game. Shelton has scored a goal to put us in top. This is good. Yeah.
This is good. I was one of those people. Well put there, Robert. This is good. Yes, I was one of those people. And you didn't even note the real miraculous part of that is that it was on a corner kick.
That is true.
But it looked straight up from the training ground. Every kick of that, every direction, every movement looked like it was planned out and it was perfect. Kyrie put it home. And I thought it was a good omen that things were going to go very well, but I guess not.
Too good to be true.
I think what happened in this game, they looked to me to be very good at the beginning of both halves and then lost a bit of the magic.
Yeah, I mean, how many times did you see a guy dribble and get dispossessed? How many times did you see a pass just a little bit off or miscommunication? Somebody play a ball into space and the guy didn't realize the ball was going to go there. That just happened over and over again.
Yeah, and that specifically those things that you're talking about might make this conversation relevant of, is not to take anything away from Sporting Kansas City motivation, but does, just that last little bit of effort of getting to the ball first and things like that, does that come away of, Minnesota was the team that was playing for their lives there. They were the ones that had a bit more desperation, that stay in tackles a little bit longer and the ball bounces your way and stuff like that. That's kind of maybe something I saw a little bit of in that game. And again, not to take anything away from Sporting, not that they didn't have as much motivation, but that animal instinct of back against the wall, you'll kind of do anything.
Yeah, they were fighting for their lives, man. I would agree with that. I know who the player is now that you couldn't figure out.
Who? Tell me.
Brooks Thompson.
Oh, is that what he looks like?
He's a goalkeeper.
I was waiting for him to go, who's that?
He would be a goalkeeper that I'm like, who's this fucking guy? Oh man. All right, Brooks Thompson. We need to have Brooks on. He looks like he would be fun. A lot of personality. He's the star of that video. So he
seems like a good guy, man. I've talked to him a couple times. He's a good guy. He's a good keeper too. Just young. He's been a little bit injury prone.
How old?
I think he's 18. He could be 19.
Oh wow, yeah, okay. Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe he can be the third string keeper. That's a good niche for us to develop. He can come on the show every week. fourth string keeper.
Hey, we had Pulskamp on early in the year, so hey.
Yeah, Pulskamp was good too. I did like him. He featured in that video as well. He looks pretty solid. I think he came through that door looking quite confident. I was happy to see that.
Yeah, Brooks is 19 also. Him and Pulskamp are both 19, and Pulskamp looks more like he's 29 or 30.
Yeah.
Brooks still looks like he's 17.
All right, cool. Yeah, we can get Brooks on. That's a win for us, right? That's not a big ask to Patrick for the fourth string goalkeeper, is it?
Hope not. No, he's a good guy though, man. He is a good keeper. He, like I said, he's just been some injury prone, man, but he's a good shot stopper. Him and Pulskamp were in somebody's ratings of U.S. keepers under the age of 21. They were both in the top 10.
Okay, very good. Where did he go to school? Where did we draft him from? What was a recent draft pick? Is right.
No. He's not a draft pick.
Okay, good.
He's a homegrown.
Okay, good. I was about to say where we need David tonight. We're missing David tonight, the research man, the producer man on the sidelines. But look, Thad just had it all in his head. Good man.
Yeah, I know that stuff, man.
So to bring it back to the Minnesota for the third time that game.
Exactly.
How else can I derail this?
I'm not bothered by that game. The result sucks, obviously, just because the opportunity was so big there to go 3 points clear. But I mean, that goal is watching the first goal that Minnesota scored. it's just one. I just see that. I'm like, that's that's just a goal that gets scored. It wasn't a clean. Nothing about it was clean. It bounces around. It falls to someone who just puts their boot through it. It goes through several bodies, and then it goes through Tim Melia's palm somehow as well.
Wait, you, the anti-keeper guy, are not blaming Tim for that goal? I saw a lot of people on Twitter blaming him for that goal.
Well, that obviously that's on the keeper. I'm just saying it's, that's just a thing that happens. It's not a larger sign of Sporting KC struggling going into the playoffs or losing some of this form. It's just one of those things that happen. Crystal Palace will score that goal against Manchester City. That's just something that happens every now and then. But again, speaking of going through Tim Melia's palm, I've watched it several times and I'm still not sure how it physically happens. Tim Melia has this very strong palm and wrist, and it doesn't look like it gives at all. And he hits it perfectly, but somehow it still goes in behind him.
I think it's just a reaction thing that it just slipped by. I mean, it hit his hands, but it just wasn't a perfect block, so it just kind of went through. That was from pretty close range, so I don't really fault Tim. I know a lot of people did, but that range, man.
Close range and through some bodies. So no, I don't really fault him either. But is it a little bit of karma for his recent behavior? Honestly, I'm hoping it
There's
is.
the rub.
I'm hoping he's cashing. I'm hoping that he cashes in on the bad karma right there and not for when we lose in horrible fashion to Seattle in the playoffs.
Well, Amadou Dia better watch how he's driving or something, because the karma's going to come back to him too.
I'm expecting a little punishment later.
Because he's probably not going to be seeing the field, so karma's going to get him somewhere else.
Yeah, so we're expecting a punishment coming, a 2-game punishment to end the season here for Dia. Is that possible?
It's possible. I don't know. I've seen a lot of tackles like that not get punished later since it wasn't on the field. So it's kind of iffy. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he didn't in that one.
Why was he brought on in this match?
I have no idea.
In the 81st minute, why were 3 subs brought on?
Yeah, so I had a friend message me and just was assuming that this was, just trying to give some players some quality minutes and that we're not trying to go for the win there. And I was immediately like, well, no, no way. Like, bring in the one and only left attacking player that we have in Peyton Barber came on. And, the way
Grayson.
Peyton. Oh God. Yeah. Grayson Barber.
Fine. Jar.
I was going to let it slip.
That is don't let that slip.
I ain't letting that shit slip, man.
Look at me. Bob still hasn't paid. He's up to $4 this season. And I haven't gotten
you've got a tally, do you?
But look, yes, I do. And that's also part of David's job here as well, is to keep the tally. But look, here's the $1. I have it right here. Paid.
Dave gets a percentage, doesn't he?
No, Dave didn't get shit. So yeah, Grayson Barber came in, and then Dia, the way Vermees uses his outside backs, that is a very good tool to bring on some fresh legs there for overlapping runs. So I didn't really see it like that, but 3 subs at once. Everyone was curious about it.
And Maui, right?
Yeah,
right. Came on.
But for 9 minutes, really?
No. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna play Vermees for a second, right? Anytime you ask him and he why he didn't bring players on at the end of a game, he'll say, because I thought the team was playing well, they were creating chances, they just didn't find the back of the net, right? This is one of those times. They weren't playing well, they weren't doing it. He brought on what he could to at least have a chance of creating something, right? He's pretty consistent in that. You might not agree.
First minute.
Yeah, that's my question. That's the right question, to quote iRobot.
Well, that's a different damn question, man.
Yeah, it's the right one. Defend that one, sir. No, I know.
They were not used to writing down that many names. It took them 10 minutes.
Well, I think the actual defense of that is Vermees has stated many times in the past, and it's worked for him many times in the past, is sticking with that lineup and the guys that are in the flow of the game. And, he's maybe, if they're if he has been moving away from his hesitancy for subs, that is what he used to say a lot. So, that definitely plays a role in there.
And I don't think he's moving away from hesitancy for subs. I think it's just that was the day that he saw the team wasn't accomplishing and they weren't doing it. They weren't gonna. He didn't see them potentially breaking through, so he changed 3 guys.
So I don't know if you guys saw it, but sometime during the second half, sorry, I don't know the minute, but they showed a picture of the bench, and he was focused on Peter, but in the background was Kerry Zavagnin, and Kerry just had this look on his face like when you feel. If I was running the show, this is what I would do. That was the exact look on Kerry's face. And I was just wondering what he was thinking in the moment. I would be subbing, maybe. I don't know. Little bubble. But that was the look on Kerry's face.
You're saying you saw Kerry sitting on the bench before any subs were made, sitting there looking like, yo, what are we doing? Put some new guys in.
So that's what he might have been thinking. But he certainly had the look on his face like, this is not good. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
Robert the mind reader.
Yeah.
The last point, at least that I have down for this match, was Andreu Fontas. We need an Andreu Fontas appreciation hour. The man is playing very well. I know, not that he's not been getting the respect he deserves. I saw he is even getting noticed in the whatever official rankings that they put out for the MVP of the season. He's always like whatever algorithm they have set up, his score comes up and he's on that list every time. And
for the defender of the year or the MVP?
It was for MVP. Their MLS has been coming out with this article like every week where they update the potential candidates or the top 5 candidates, and they also list these guys of they have some algorithm that gives these players a score or something like that. And he is, oh no, it's not some, they're actually just referring to it's some actual stat, not some like algorithm they've created, but some like wide arcing advanced soccer statistic is that they're referring to that puts him like in the top of the discussion there.
Yeah. So, I believe it's something to do with significant passes that he's made, which has certainly been true in that left side. He's kind of been orchestrating from back there, and he's been pretty good defensively too, really.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Significant passes for sure. We know that he has that. He's got the Barcelona pedigree there. But there are moments where I think that an attacker has the position or has the ability to get a shot off, and he has the ability to just disrupt it just enough. And it's good at one-on-one. And I've always been, maybe since Beasler and Colin, the days of, when they, in 2013, the days where it was just, we had this impenetrable defense. Since then, I have never felt confident of any one-on-one defending for Sporting KC, at least as far as center backs. And now it's just, if I see someone running at Fontas, it's like, he just looks bigger in my eyes. It's like, how are you going to get around that guy? He has this ability to keep them in front of him, disrupt them just enough. And yeah, it took him a while to come on here for Sporting KC. And I know he was dealing with injuries, but man, he has been a revelation this season.
He is. I know the complaint is always about his speed, and he's not the fastest guy out there, obviously, but you're right. His positioning when he's healthy is good. The way he can position his body, being in the right spot. And I just wonder if that is also feeding off of Ilie some also.
Ilie has improved him as a center back, even though Ilie is not a center back.
Not really improved him, but having the same mindset. Yeah. I mean, Ilie is not a center back. He's not, but he's doing all right at it.
No, Ilie is in the Star Wars universe as Diego Luna. No, I always kind of thought that Ilie reminded me of someone, and I wasn't ever sure, but he's recently grown his hair out. Have you noticed that? Ilie is getting a little more scrappy.
Definitely.
Ilya's got a nice thick head of hair. Good man. How old is Ilie?
I'm not jealous at all.
No, you're not. Yeah.
He's 31, isn't he? Isn't Ilie 31?
Yeah, he's on that other side of it where it starts to happen to some gentlemen. As a redhead, I wouldn't really know anything about it, but no, yeah, it took him to grow this hair out before I finally realized who it was that he looked like, and it is Diego Luna, and they look almost exactly alike.
Okay, so I have to mention this moment as well. Did anybody see that Roger Espinosa attack down the left side? And he was, driving the ball down the field. Then he just shot the ball, just like, what the heck? Just shot it nowhere near the goal. And everybody on the team looked over at him like, what the hell are you doing? Did you guys see that moment?
That play.
Yeah.
Well, Roger gets one of those.
That?
He hasn't scored that one this season, right? That's probably what was going on in his head. He gets one of those every year, and he hasn't had it yet, so he had to unleash one.
Maybe so.
Yeah, I don't remember it either, but I was kind of doing a lot of things during that game. So
yeah, he did not have a good game for sure.
Hold on. What does that mean? What were you were doing a lot of things during that game. What does that mean?
Cooking breakfast, eating breakfast. Yeah.
That was a late morning.
That's
you got a problem with that?
As
did you have a late date the night before then?
Yeah. You got a problem with
that?
Okay. Date night with the wife?
Bacon, eggs, and pumpkin muffins.
Wow. This was a special Sunday in the Bell household, wasn't it?
It was a little later start than what we intended it to be, but
Why that? You and the missus were just couldn't get out of bed? You were tangled in the sheets?
No, it was actually more delay on the kid. So
why did you have such a big why are you just glossing over this? I'm very curious. You don't have this kind of breakfast every Sunday, do you? If you do, can I come over?
Most Sundays we have a pretty good breakfast. Yeah.
Wow.
Not bacon, eggs, and pumpkin muffins always, but sometimes it's like a sausage, egg, and potato skillet. Sometimes it's scrambled eggs with other stuff. I mean, yeah, it's a traditional Bell Sunday breakfast going back to when I was little. Mom would sleep in, Dad would get up, we'd cook breakfast, wake Mom up, give her coffee, give her breakfast. That was it. So when I had a family, I started that tradition that if we're not going to church that day, we're not going to a soccer game, we have a family breakfast on Sunday morning.
That's beautiful.
It was just a little bit late this week.
That's beautiful. I ordered chick-in waffle in Westport. That was my Sunday, and it was literally at the exact same time as you too. So I got a late start as well.
Yeah, I was cooking bacon as the game started, and then eggs. And honestly, my daughter was not feeling good, so she ate some and then didn't eat a lot of it. So yeah.
So great. I'm very glad that here at the end of the podcast, you admit to all of our listeners that you didn't really watch it.
I did watch it. I said I was kind of in and out on some of it.
All right, on to the future. 2 games remaining. Wednesday night at Austin, Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
At ATX, at our old friend, Matt Beasler. How are we feeling about this one, Robert?
Well, somebody posted on our big Blue Testament discussion board that should be an easy win. I'm thinking no. Austin's got jobs to play for. They're going to want to show their fans well. So no easy win in my book.
No, it never is an easy win. MLS
Not at this time of year. Yeah. I would actually worry a lot about this game if it wasn't for just coming off a loss and them being pissed off. Hopefully that makes a difference.
Yeah, that was kind of going along the lines of that. I wasn't too upset about it. Sporting KC's been on a tear here at the end. I know they're individual poor performances in and out, but I'm fine with getting one of these out of the way. We don't need to end the season on a 4 or 5 game winning streak to end, as we go into the playoffs. We don't necessarily need that. They got to have a stinker. They got to get punched in the face a little bit and wake up. So yes, I do feel very good about this one. I imagine they're going to go in there with a very gritty feeling.
So interestingly, looking at the last 10 games, it was a loss, win, win, loss, win, win, loss, win, win, loss. We have 2 games left.
Wow. Robert, did you not just say a little bit ago that you didn't find a pattern in any of that?
Well, what I was looking for was poor performances at the end of a 4 games in 14-day stretch, something like that. And I didn't really see a pattern as far as that went. So I was a little bit surprised that the weary legs did not show themselves earlier as far as that goes. So, but yeah, I mean, we've won every game after a loss this season, right?
So far.
Yeah.
Of course, if they keep that pattern up, that means lost in the first game of the playoffs that they play and they're out. Done.
But I also expect Issy to be back at center back, Ilie back at the 6. Salloi might even start this one. So I expect a different lineup than we had against Minnesota as well. So
I did want to talk about Salloi. He is expected to be back. There was a chance he was going to be back last week, right?
He was there at the last game. He played.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he came on like the 55th minute, something like that.
Wait, what? What?
You missed that, Cody?
Yeah. Wait. Who is giving me crap for not watching the game closely? And you can't cut this out. You cannot cut this out. That would be complete cheating.
Now I'll give Cody some credit. He pretty much was invisible when he's on the field, pretty much. But yeah, he was there.
That was the point I was about to make. Like, oh man, that has to be, that can't be a good sign that he did and that didn't work out. I guess I was just thinking of a message saying that he must have been a late scratch to the previous game.
Yeah, maybe so.
Okay. So we do have Salloi back. The other question is Pulido.
Yeah, that's still a question.
And do we ever get an answer to that, or this new world of MLS where we just don't ever know? No one gets to ask. We just never know. They don't have to give a reason.
Ask. You can ask.
Well, they just don't have to. They don't have to answer.
Well, the answer from Peter will be he's progressing good.
He's been progressing
well.
good for months, and then all of a sudden he had surgery, and he's been progressing good.
Come on, Cody. Don't be cynical.
He was ahead of expectations after the surgery because there was less swelling, and hey, he can walk around a haunted house.
And he can do a haunted house safely.
No, so the question, I guess, becomes, do we want him to get some game minutes and then have how long would lay off until our first playoff game, or do we just wait for the playoffs?
If they do get this top seed, then it's like 3 weeks off almost, isn't it? Almost 3 weeks off that they do. And so I bet that is the goal there, to have him not have to play any of these games. Because it would be
probably right.
The only goal to get him to play before that would be to get him game minutes and back in the flow of the game, and putting him in for the last 25 minutes and then not playing again for 3 weeks is not going to do that. So
if we get the number 1 seed, still a pretty big if.
Well, then it would still be, it would be 2 weeks until.
Yeah, right.
Still another 2 weeks,
It is more or less in Sporting's hands to get the top seed.
They
went out, and they don't, and a decent goal differential, and they're in.
Come on, Thad, come harder with that. Tell them they got to do it. It's theirs to lose. You'll be disappointed. It's they shouldn't lose at this point, right? It's theirs.
Yes, I will have dad disappointment in them if they do not win.
Oh wow, that's even worse than like hardcore sports talking head guy on a podcast. Anger.
I will be very disappointed in them if they do not.
Oh man,
win the last 2 games.
I mean, you just gave me. I
know their potential, and they're not living up to it if they do not win those last 2 games. Is that better for you, Cody?
You got me. All they need you is to talk to them like that, because they won me over.
But here's the deal, though. I'll bring a dose of reality. The goal differential, we're only up by 1 right now. So we could win out both games. Seattle could win out both games, and their goal differential could be better than ours, which would break the tie. So there's that.
Yeah, no, you're right. It could happen, but they still have a 1 goal advantage on them going into these 2 games.
Right.
And hopefully the Galaxy does something to them tonight.
Forza Galaxy. And
then their last game is it Vancouver? Yeah, it's Vancouver away. And Vancouver, who's actually been playing pretty good for the last few weeks, is playing for a playoff spot and positioning in the playoffs. So that's a tough game for them also.
Yeah.
Not that, Sporting has Austin and then Salt Lake here. So I'm not going to downplay Salt Lake, and you never know with Austin, of course. But Seattle don't have it easy.
I'm going to put on my Dave hat here just for information purposes. I looked up the tiebreakers. Number one, of course, is total number of wins. Second one, as we know, is goal differential. Third one is goals for. Fourth tiebreaker is fewest discipline points.
Ooh.
And it will come at the moment. Sporting KC and Seattle are level on games won. So
yeah, they are.
It does look like it'll come down to goal differential, which is also right there as well.
Ooh, how are we on goals for? What's that look like for goals for?
57
goals
to
for.
51.
Yes,
Sporting has 57. Seattle has 51.
Okay, that's good. I don't know if we're ahead in discipline points or not, or behind or whatever you want to be.
I'm not going to look those up real quick, but I know at one point Seattle had more fouls committed than Sporting did. So,
well, that's after goals for, correct?
Yep.
Well, I mean, man, that's 6 goals. That there would have to be a pretty disastrous collapse here in the last 2 matches for Seattle to make that up, you know?
Yeah, but before that is goal differential, which we're only 1 ahead of that on that. So
yes. Do we have a resident Austin FC expert here?
Well, Austin has gotten.
This is what I have. You want me to flex my knowledge of the team? Cecilio Dominguez. That's all I got.
Well, they have made some signings, in the window this summer that on the attacking end that have changed their team. They're taking advantage of their opportunities a little bit more often now. Defense still isn't pretty inconsistent, but they're a more dangerous team than they were.
I have only watched them play a couple times, and I just know that Dominguez guy is their leader in, I think, goals and assists and kind of their entire offense.
But he's got more help now.
Unlike us, because Tad is not paying attention.
Sporting has 48 yellow cards and Seattle has 54.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't know how that's relevant, but thank you for paying attention to what we were talking about.
Oh, I was paying attention, but I'm trying to multitask here.
There you go.
You guys were talking. You did not need me. And I just interjected with a random stat that Dave should have done, but he wasn't here.
All right. Well, how about this factor, Cody? What do you think about this? Do you think Davey Arnaud and Josh Wolf are saying, it'd really be great to ruin Sporting's chances to win the West and beat them Wednesday night?
Almost guaranteed.
And about half as much as Beasler is saying that.
Of course they are. The 3 Texas teams, just to make sure everyone is aware, the 3 Texas teams are far and away the 3 lowest teams. If there was a relegation zone, all 3 Texas teams would be going down to USL. And it's not even close. The Western Conference table is the top 3 teams all level, and then the middle of the pack, and then the Texas teams all terrible.
At least they're better than Cincinnati.
Don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Some punters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this